If you're tuning into the replay, thanks for checking in, and be sure to come over and join our website, which is crabstreetjournal.org, and you'll find all kinds of information about how to properly care for your pet land hermit crabs. Hi, welcome. We're Crabiscoping tonight, looking at my Crabitat right now. How are you? Hopefully we'll have some more people joining in just a second. Trying something different with the camera tonight. I just have it on a stand for right now, and I'll try not to pick it up and move it around unless I specifically want to show you something. That way it might not be so shaky. I rearranged the tank today, so it's not totally different, but I did add a bunch of new elements and move some stuff around just a little bit. Doing well, glad to see this and that you're able to talk. Is this Anne? Is that you, Anne? I'm not very good at memorizing usernames just yet. Oh, you did make it in! Yay! Yay, I'm glad you're here. And you're figuring out Periscope. How exciting. Hopefully Vanessa and some of the other gang will be along shortly. And then I'll kind of show off some of what I did today in the tank. I'm feeding mealworms for the first time tonight. And I also have some dehydrated ground up butternut squash that I'm feeding. I'm not sure if they've been eating that or not, but I did, when I came down here a few minutes ago, one of my smaller Caribbeans was in the mealworms. No, these are just dried. They're dead, just dried. And so one of the PPs had picked up one and was trying so hard to carry it off, but kept falling over backwards because it wouldn't let go of the worm. I went up to get my phone, and of course now it's disappeared someplace with its worm, probably off into a corner to chow down on it, but it was really funny. Hi, Jenny. Good to see you again. It's been a while. Yeah, of course, right? The one time I didn't bring my camera down with me to catch it on video and something hilarious is happening. I see Vanessa is on Facebook Messenger. She better get over here and join us and quit messaging me. I have the camera, my phone just set up on a stand for right now. There's Vanessa. And as soon as we kind of have the gang in here, I'll show you guys what I did today, because I made some changes that I'm kind of excited about. My back is killing me, but it took me several hours to kind of revamp things a little bit, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead. I was just saying you were on Facebook Messenger messaging me and that you better get in here, and then you showed up. All right, let's look at what I did today. We'll start down at, I'll try not to make you guys seasick, but we'll start down here at the other end. So I got my other turtle dock mounted, and I put the small to medium shells in there, and then I hung my vine up. I saw you were busy doing a tank cleaning, and then I wrapped my bamboo tunnels in burlap to make them climbable on the outside also. And then I shifted the turtle shell back, and I moved that log up across the top there. And then I hung up this double-decker, I call it like a hermit crab or cocoa hammock, that I got from Isopod Connection. Let me open up my lid and show you. So it's like a double-decker upside-down cocoa hut. I'm glad you made it too, Jenny. I was thinking about putting some of the worms up there, but I thought, well, let me put them in the dish first and make sure they're really going to eat them. So later on I may hide some dried treats up there just to entice them to get up there. Then I also got this new piece of cork bark right here. Yeah, the mealworms. And I got it specifically because I wanted to mount it up against the glass like this, because I'm hoping with some leaf litter hidden in it that the crabs will climb up the inside of it and I'll be able to see them. So I kind of did that for my own purposes. And I stuffed some leaf litter down in there. I noticed today, thanks Jenny, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out today. I noticed though when I was gathering up the leaf litter, all of the burning bush leaves are already gone, so I'm going to have to go and get some more. So the log comes across on top of the stump, and then I draped some fishnet on it. I added the new heat mat in the back. You can just barely see it, but I haven't turned it on yet. It'll go on tonight when the moon bulbs go on, and I did get some true purple moon bulbs and swapped them out for the red ones, so we'll see what that does. I scattered some cork bark on top of the substrate. Yeah, my lights and the heat mat are all on timers. So I can't mix it down into the substrate because I have a lot of crabs down right now, but I know they'll churn it under as they're digging, so I just sprinkled it across the top. I've got some orchard grass right there too. Then I moved this limb across. I also relocated the other bamboo tunnel back there. Here's what my timer looks like. So one side is on all the time, the switch side, and then this side is timed. So I have 2 bulbs in the heat mat, the 2 night bulbs in the heat mat on a timer, and then my day lamps I'm just going to switch off and on as I need them. That way they don't go off while we're doing our Periscope chat. Kitty, get out of my drink. And then I moved the netting down here closer to the bridge, so it would give them something else to climb on close to the bridge. And then of course I have my other moss pit over here that's been there. Oh, no, I don't label them. I just know what's in each side. So, and then when I went outside to find some isopods today, and of course there were none, but my rose bush out back had a really big fat bloom on it that was just starting to wilt, so I grabbed that and sprinkled it inside. You can see what species of isopods, just the regular whatever's outside. I normally collect them outside, and this year I haven't been able to find any. This is the corn wheel that I got from Isopod Connection, and they've picked it clean, and it's been in there for a week, and they have been eating on it every day. I just left it in there because I thought they might still eat the corn cob. They're really enjoying it. There's the mealworms. Vanessa, you missed the story I was telling Anne. When I came down here right before the Periscope was going to start, I left my phone upstairs, but I came down here and one of my little Caribbeans was in the worms, and it picked out one, and it had it in its claws, and it was trying to drag it off, but it kept falling over backwards because it wouldn't let go of the worm. And of course, now that I'm down here with the camera, it's gone. And you'll notice that my temperature is a little low tonight, but that's because I had the lights and everything off. No, they're dead. They're not live. I had the lights and everything turned off while I was rearranging everything because I didn't want to burn myself on the lights while I was mounting that heat mat, because I can't move my tank out. It is too heavy. Yeah, it was hilarious. I was laughing. You silly crab. He kept falling over backwards. So my temperature's a little bit low right now, but it should come up with overnight. Well, I bought this giant bag of mealworms. So I figured I would divvy some up into smaller bags for people who might want them as prizes and don't want a huge bag like this. And I'm also going to do that with these chia seeds that I bought. I tried sprouting them once, and I think the crabs ate them all before they had a chance to sprout, because my flax seeds sprouted. So I'm going to try it again. But I'll put some of these in the prize closet too. That way, for those of you that only have a couple crabs, like this bag would last you your entire lifetime and the crabs would never eat all of it. So I'll offer some of those as prizes for anybody that wants them. What else is new? That may be it. I'm really happy about the bark log thing. I really hope that that works the way I want it to, and they end up climbing up inside of there. And I had several crabs in the little cocoa huts. Yeah, I bet Walmart has them. I got those from Aldi. I try to shop at Aldi whenever I can. I found those mealworms at Walmart also. I went to Rural King to get them, and they're gone. They said they're seasonal, so they won't be back until spring. And I think same for the crushed oyster shells, which I hadn't tried, but I do want to try adding to my substrate. But I can't find them, so I may have to wait till next year. So many crabbies were out and about today too. When I pulled everything out, it was like they were lost without all of their stuff. Yeah, so that's why I used to make smoothies with the chia seeds, and I had ran out, and so I went and got some more. I don't plan on eating them anymore because I had quit making my smoothies, but I know the crabs will eat them. My favorite moss hanger outer is climbing up here. Earlier, when the bamboo tunnel wasn't in place and just the tree was, he was standing on top of the coral, waving his legs out, trying to get a hold of that tree so he could get up there to get into the moss pit. He just loves to hang out in the moss. He's up there pretty much every day. This is, it's just forest moss that I ordered off of Amazon. I bought some live moss, and it's down here, and I'm not doing a very good job of keeping it alive. You can see it's dying. I keep misting it, but it's a good place to put my flax seed and chia seed because it keeps it damp. But yeah, I'm not great at keeping it alive, so this won't last very long either, but it's just some forest moss that I got off of Amazon. I'm trying to see, there's quite a few crabs out, but of course I don't want to sneak up on them. I saw that, and I may have to check into that. And I saw that Amber was saying that we could rinse it out and wring it out, so that's kind of a cool idea. Let's see. Who's down there? There's a little Caribbean down there. There's a Cavipes underneath the log. The one kind of wedged between the log and the stump, I believe, is a Ruggy. One of the Indos that's still up is up there on top of the cork tunnel. King of the hill with a little baby. Purple pincher. There's two more kind of right there. The one in the Babylonia shell and one behind it. And then that stupid painted shell. One little guy down there. I think he's going to go down inside. I was really surprised that viola was out and about today when I took everything out. That viola is typically one of the more shy ones. And it was just like out trundling around, checking things out. So I got quite a few good pictures. There was a whole bunch of crabbies piled behind the coral. And I don't know if you can see, there's two Ruggies climbing around on top of it. He's going to go down the tunnel. Like a little slide. Yeah, they were hiding back there behind the coral. I don't know if more of them will come out and eat once I kind of settle down. Yeah, wouldn't that be kind of funny if you hear him go tumbling down there? So, I don't know if you guys saw. I'm gonna put my phone down so it's just kind of focused right here, so that I don't make you guys seasick. He goes up and down that tunnel all the time and never gets stuck. Maybe now that I put the burlap on the outside of it, he'll actually use the outside of it instead. But yeah, that's his favorite way to get up and down. But anyway, somebody new posted on the CSJ page. No, sorry, Twitter. They started tweeting me that they have a new crab that they've had about a month, and it's underground. She can hear it digging around. Thanks, Vanessa. I worked really hard on it today. My back is killing me, but I'm really happy with the changes that I made. So she's got this crab that's underground digging, and she said it's the only one underground. Her other 3 crabs are above ground. And she said this crab is just like chirping all the time. And she can hear him digging and moving, and so she knows he's still moving around underground. But she said he's chirping so much. She said he was looking at shells before he went down, but never actually picked a shell. And she's not sure if it's an Ecuadorian or not. I'm kind of wondering why that crab is just chirping like mad. The only thing I can think of is that he's just trying to get settled into molt and is having a hard time picking a spot, and he's just vocalizing. My worst fear is that he's underground and maybe there's something, maybe he has mites or a parasite or something. She says he's not stuck. Like, she can hear him digging and moving around. Like, she knows he's like actively tunneling. So he doesn't seem to be stuck. But she said he's also not coming up. I said, if it comes up, maybe you should try to do a gentle saltwater bath and make sure there's not something in the shell. But she said he hasn't been above ground, but she said her humidity and temperature is good. And that he's just making a lot of noise. So I'm not really sure what to tell her. Yeah, I said maybe he's just like super cranky. Nope, Jenny, she said her other crabs are all above ground. I asked her that. She doesn't have any other crabs. I think she has 3 crabs total. So, she said that crab is the only one underground. GMTA. I don't know what GMTA means. And I hate to tell her, if he's trying to molt, I hate to tell her to go. Oh, great minds think alike. Gotcha. I hate to tell her to go and try digging him up to check the shell. And I know that chirping isn't always a sign of distress, so I'm not positive that that's what's happening. Yeah, like, I'm kind of tempted to tell her to dig, but I don't know. I didn't see a picture of her tank or get a chance to ask her how big it was, but she said her temperature and humidity were good, and she seemed to be kind of knowledgeable, so I kind of got the impression that she knew how to have her tank set up, so I'm assuming she's got sufficient substrate. Yeah, I don't know. If it, like, trapped under something. She seemed to indicate that she could tell it was moving around. Yeah, if he's still moving, that's when I'm like, well, maybe he hasn't begun his molt. Maybe it would be okay. Somebody's going in to get a drink. So, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask her what her substrate was. So what do you guys think? Should I suggest that she attempts to dig him up and check him and make sure It's like he's down there claustrophobic going, oh my god, get me out of here! I don't know what to do! She's only had it for a month. So, I mean, it's possible that it could have mites. It could have, one of those parasitic flies or larvae in the shell. That's kind of what I'm worried about. Anne says dig, and Vanessa says wait a few more days. I didn't ask her how many days it had been going on. I have too many crabs to keep track of specifically who's down and who's not down. Periodically, I end up doing kind of a major sort of searching through the tank, and sometimes I find empty shells, and I know somebody died while they were under. I found one of my little cavipes had passed away, and I found the body today when I was cleaning. Yeah, they definitely have a molting season, but so like right now, I only have one endo above ground. I have 4 endos down someplace. Yeah, I hate finding them dead. I know, I hate losing the cavipes, but they were the ones, and they were the ones that were held the longest in customs, so they were the most likely to have issues. Although I did catch one earlier this week because I numbered their shells, and it was number 3, changing shells. So I know at least that guy is okay. I didn't find the shell for this one, but it was back in the rock pile, so it may have left its shell in the rock pile. So I don't know if that's the same PP. I have 2 of them in the same type of shell, but one of them in a shell like that is the one that packed off the worm. Let's look and see who all is up here. Ouch. This little guy's been... Whoops, sorry. This little guy here has been going back and forth across this log, like his own little personal commuter bridge. So there's 2, 4, 6... One of the big E's was out earlier. And they're spending a little more time over here by the saltwater pool, so that's been kind of cool. Four in Babylonia shells. I got some more Babylonia shells this week. I found another 3. Yeah, in the waterfall. I've been finding them hanging out back there a little bit more. But I found another shell store on Etsy, and this one happens to be like nearby, but she's not open to the public. So I ordered this giant bag of, I think these are they whale moon shells or like whale eyes? These are good sized. Nice for ease, so I'll have some bigger shells for them, because I have one that's fairly good size right now. Let me try. Oops, don't do that. Can you see those? These were dirt cheap, too. Can't remember. I think they're either whale's eyes or something like that. And then I got this bag of Babylonias. These were like $2 for all of these. And then I got these green turbos, which are smaller. And then if you guys saw the pictures, I got these really tiny, tiny Neerites. Like these are, yeah, they were a steal. These are pretty small. Your E's won't use the whale eyes. I've seen them in, I have some in the ones that are like darker colored. That same shape, but they're thinner. And I wonder if it's because these white ones that I have, they're heavy. They might be too heavy. And then I ordered these, which are way too small and would only be useful if you're breeding crabs. I wasn't paying attention. I got a little order happy. Come on, zoom in. There's not enough light in here, I don't think. Let's try it up here. There. See how tiny those are? Like, there's my pinky next to them. So the gal in Germany that's breeding says so they don't really like these, or she hasn't had luck with these, so she didn't need any. But there was somebody else that contacted me, and I'm not sure if she's breeding or not, but if she wants them, I'll let her have them. I'm never gonna have crabs that small. I have a pretty good stock of food right now too. I need to not order food for a while. Oh, you know, I fed something new from Deliciously Crabby because my crabs like didn't touch the color enhancer, and this like Love at First Sight, I think was the name of one of the cookies. Didn't touch it at all. They wouldn't eat the salad. They wouldn't eat the like sweet and spicy, like it's like a honey or something. They wouldn't eat that. So I was getting a little concerned. Oh, both of your new ones are down in the 10. But I put in a new cookie called Ocean Spray last night, and somebody carried it off, so they may actually like that. Oh, the one in the painted shell. Well, all you can do is just hope for the best, you know. It's always a bit of a crapshoot when they go down. I was wondering why you chose the name Dentist. Is that something like an inside joke for you? Vanessa, thanks for the hearts. I know that's you doing that. Vanessa, are you going to do a scope? Yeah, isn't that weird from that one? And it was all different stuff. And I know that sometimes it takes a few times. Oh, like forceps, I gotcha. Sometimes it takes a few times offering the same food for them to eat it. But I kept like putting that color enhancer back in the tank, and they wouldn't have anything to do with it. And that corn wheel's been in there every day for a week, and they've been eating on it every single day. They've also been eating on the orchard grass. I don't know if they've eaten any of the squash yet. I haven't caught anybody in there, but I have a bunch of more food from Deliciously Crabby in my refrigerator because some of it had to be refrigerated that I need to try offering. But they did eat all of the burning bush leaves. Those are all completely gone. All that's left are some oak leaves. Did you guys see the box of stuff from work where I went outside and collected all those acorns and oak leaves? I wanted to get some more, and then it rained on Friday, so I didn't get any. The one I like is just ground dried carrots and beets. Just something nice and simple. Yeah, I'm sure my coworkers think that I am out of my mind outside with my. I get it now, Jenny. That makes sense. That's cute. But I'm out there with like a broom and a dustpan, sweeping up acorns on the sidewalk. And then there was all these leaves piled up around the door, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna come out at lunch, and I can just kind of quickly grab them up. And then it started raining, so I didn't get to. He made it down. Now he's checking out the rose petals. Well, my back didn't think it was fun doing all that sweeping up, but I should have enough acorns to last. Well, at first I did, and they gobbled them up. And then I just tossed them whole into the tank. So I think the pine cones are safe, Vanessa. From what I understand about the pine being unsafe, it's the smell being so overwhelming. Thanks, Anne. The smell being so overwhelming to them in an enclosed space. So I think you can feed pine cones if you want to. But I had better. They didn't seem to like eat much of the acorns without me busting them open. I found a whole bunch whole today, still in the substrate. So I pulled them out for now. But I just have a small mortar and pestle, and I just use it to kind of just tap them and just crack the outer shell just enough that they can like smell the meat inside. And that seems to be all they need to get going. Can you see that big guy eating his rose petal? I'm sure they get tired of being watched all the time. B&B. Should I know what B&B means? Is it supposed to be BRB? Are you leaving me? This one's still in the water dish. Sipping. Sipping, sipping. Oh, big and beautiful. That one I could name because I recognize the shell and the moss behavior. I could probably give that one a name. Years ago when I started crabbing, I did give them all names. But I gave up on that. It was too hard to keep track. You switch shells and they look alike, especially the little ones. Yeah, some of them are okay with me being around, and other ones just are very skittish. And the cat sits down here and watches them all the time, but that doesn't seem to bother them either. Which I guess because she doesn't cast a shadow over the tank. Lexi's very skittish. Well, at least she lets you get a good picture of her. Did you guys all go and vote? Voting ends tonight, and I know we have a two-way tie on at least one of them. Your cat? It's Fifi, right? She's paying very close attention to the crabbies. Somebody's in the shell bin, but I don't know who. So I moved that cocoa liner kind of back behind to help hold up the cork bark. The voting for calendar crab and crabbitat of the month ends tonight, Jenny. So you need to go over to the website, to crabstreetjournal.org. Her ears go up. Yeah, go over and vote on calendar crab and crabbitat of the month before midnight tonight. And Amber won the Crab-A-Lantern contest, and she picked out her prize from the Cafe Press store, and she picked out a really cute bag with the Crazy Crab Lady graphic on it that Vanessa created that was really cute. So she's getting that. She did an amazing job. Yeah, she did a really great job on her Crab-O-Lantern. I know Melissa had done one, but I don't think she got around to registering for the site and getting it uploaded, unfortunately. Just kind of a bummer. I wonder where Marnell's at. He usually pops into our chats. Vanessa does great graphics, doesn't she? And the Cafe Press store is looking really nice. We cleaned it up, and Jenny, I think that I have your picture of Lexi uploaded, but I haven't added it to any products. Look, there's Marnell. Who invited him? I have wonder who else I can mention and make them show up. Yeah, I know. I keep missing his Periscopes because I don't log into this account until I'm ready to do my scopes. I have my personal account logged in all the time, so I have to follow him on my personal account so I can catch him. And Vanessa, are you going to do a scope tomorrow? But anyway, yeah, Vanessa has been working on the Cafe Press store, and Jenny, I uploaded your picture of Lexi. Boy, that crab is like tearing off huge pieces of that rose petal. So I'll add it to some products, and then if you want to purchase something like a coffee mug or something with your picture of Lexi on it, it'll be available in the Cafe Press store for you. I guess whatever time you think is good for your time zone that you can get people to tune in. You do just to follow this one. Marnell, the dragonfly is Anne, if you guys want to follow each other back. But I have to be... Well, so my idea with you doing scopes was that maybe it would catch other people in Australia or in the European time zones that can't tune into my scopes because my time zone is bad for them. But I have to go see my girlfriend tomorrow afternoon about swapping some clothes and stuff around. So I don't know when I'm going to be home. And I'm kind of thinking about going and doing a Periscope from Petco while I'm up there getting cat litter. So I see back here, I'm going to move my camera. My biggest E, when you goes on to be 7 a.m. for me. My biggest E is climbing up back there. And then one of the latest Kavipes I got is also back there. Yeah, I don't know if you have to always aim for what works for us in the US, because I feel like people in Australia would enjoy having something going on that's convenient for them, you know. It's like, oh my gosh, this flower is so good. Nom 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 nom. Yeah, whatever works for you. That pool back there, that's just the fresh water. Probably like 10 or 12 inches long, and it's probably 3 or 4 inches deep. I need to dump it out and put fresh water in it. It's a rose from my backyard, one of my rose bushes. They love rose petals. I have a rose bush out front, but it has smaller roses on it. The one out back hasn't really been blooming. It's struggling where I planted it. But I went out there tonight, or this afternoon, and it had a giant bloom on it that was just starting to wilt, so it pulled off really easily, so I just sprinkled it in here. Marnell, did you see the saltwater pool that I put in? The big one with the filter? Ah, like Floribunda roses. It's like, oh, this piece looks good too. This one might taste different. It's down here on the end. I'll show you. It's not as easy to see now because I redid my tank a little bit. Tea roses or Floribunda, yeah, maybe. So, this is it right here. So this is a deep plastic bin. So that's probably maybe 8 or 10 inches deep. And then that's a filtered waterfall. So this is all salt water. And it's cycled with 2 charcoal filters in it. And it's got some coral sand down on the bottom. You can see it a little bit better, maybe if I get down here. Watch me drop my phone in there. That would not be funny at all. It's got a little platform on top where they can sit up there. Here's one of the Cocoa Hut tree houses. This one hasn't been used yet, but I think it's just because I put it in a weird spot and they haven't really discovered it yet. There's the shells for the little guys, for the wee ones. These right here are the ones I've seen my E's wearing. Yeah, baby shells, whale eye, maybe. I can't keep them all straight. I can't wait for them to start using that little double-decker hammock thing. One of your E's switched into that just recently. That's good that it switched, though. They're so stubborn. Although somebody told me they're not actually stubborn, that they just know what they like when they see it. I'm like, okay, well, that's probably true, too. To see if... No, just one now. So back here in this corner is where everybody was piled up, but they've since vacated. Big crab poop in the tree, crab poop in the moss, their favorite place to poop. Oh, now he's checking out a different piece of flower. He's really enjoying his rose petal. I know, right? What else did I clean out? Oh, when I cleaned out the cocoa liner today, the whole bottom of it was nothing but crab poop. Somebody coming out of the tree stump right there. Thanks for the hearts. What do you guys think about periscoping from pet stores? I'd kind of like to use Periscope to maybe show some of the stuff that's being done wrong at pet stores. Wasted data. Maybe, Marnell, it might be. But, you know, we've done petitions many times over the years to petition Petco, PetSmart, Petland, FMR, you know, to stop with the painted shells and to provide crabs. Maybe just a video and post it to the group. Well, so Periscopes, if you use catch.me like I do, I can back my Periscopes up to catch.me and they're available indefinitely, and then I also can take them from my phone and upload them to YouTube so they can end up on YouTube also. And, you know, from YouTube, anybody can watch them. So the petitions never get us anywhere. The pet stores don't care. Little branches, pre-drilled. Oh, applewood, nice, nice. But social media seems to have a bigger impact. they don't want their public reputation to be negative. So I don't know if we started doing periscopes from the stores, and even at Petco. My thought is the Petco, yeah, PetSmart has been natural shells for a long time, but they often don't have the humidity right, or they only have fresh water and not salt water, and it's completely hit and miss, and it's inconsistent. But Petco has right in there, well, and I'm okay with them not having the deep substrate, because the minute crabs start digging down to molt at the pet store and they can't sell them, they're going to start digging them up, which is bad. I mean, a crab can delay molting for a while, and so I'd rather not see them molting at the pet store. And I know some stores have employees that are willing to set up a tank in the back and put molters back there, but most stores aren't going to do that. Like, they need to get those crabs sold. They need turnover. They aren't going to want them digging and molting. So I kind of get not having the deep substrate. And the pelleted food sucks, but again, you know, they could probably offer them some of the same food they're feeding the turtles to at least change it up a little bit. But Petco's care sheet for hermit crabs says right in their own documentation that they need humidity of 70 to 80%. And every time I go to one of, there's like 3 Petcos I go to, the humidity is 40%. So they're not even following their own suggestions as far as the humidity in their care sheet. So even if I just did something like that, just highlighted the fact that, well, here's what your care sheet says, and here's what's happening in the tank. You might get lucky and get a manager who will listen to you and change conditions, but that's only good as long as that manager's at that store. And in retail, there's a fair amount of turnover. So if it comes from corporate, it's different. It would be more binding. Yes, Marnell, I mounted it today. Do you see back there? It's that black, the black section along the back. I don't have it on yet, but I did finally get it mounted today. So I'll turn it on tonight and we'll see what we get. Yeah, I'm excited to see if it works better, and I swapped out my red bulbs for the purple moon glow that should put off less light. I still need some. I still don't know I don't know if the heat pad's going to be enough by itself. If it is, then I'll just use the moon glow lights during the day to help boost with daytime heat and run the heat pad at night. Well, Jenny, as soon as you've been around long enough, you know, we'll review your application to be a local rep. But you don't have to be a local rep to go out and advocate on your own and talk to pet stores and try to get them to change. Having our name behind you doesn't necessarily give it any more weight. Most pet stores don't care about any of us and any of our groups. So it's not like we're going to be able to help legitimize you. You want to make sure, oh, you're waiting to see if my grow mat is going to be safe? Yeah, I'll have to see. I got like the 10 by 20 because my tank is so big, but we'll see how much heat it puts out. Yes, we need you have to be an active member on the site. You know, we need to be able to get to know you before we approve for local reps, because you are representing us in the community. And because we're not in the same community and I don't have the ability to meet you in person, I need that extra time of interacting online and you interacting on the website with other members so I can see kind of what your personality is and how you handle things. So, I mean, that's what we take it seriously. It's not just something that we just kind of just willy-nilly do, because you really are representing us. We've been around for a long time. We have a good reputation. And we want to keep that way. Sorry, I got distracted. I see somebody, and I thought it might be not a viola, but a little ruggy just came up on top right here. I go, hey, hey. Yeah, 15 years. It always helps to have is that another site? Land Hermit Crab Care? I'm not sure what that is. They're really liking this log across the top. Oh, you have your own website. Well, yeah, so you can advocate on behalf of your own website, make up business cards, with your information on them. It doesn't hurt to have lots of people out there spreading good information. We need to drown out the bad information by spreading the good information. And the more websites that are doing that and accounts that are doing that, the better. Getting on social media and promoting good care is always a good idea. They really love that cork tunnel. They just climb in and out all over it. I haven't. I didn't realize that you had started it. Can you post the link up here for us? Somebody's headed down inside the shell bin. Another one of the E's, it's in a Babylonia, is coming up the side. Let me see if I can... This is going to be loud. Who's trying to make you shut down your website? Like, nobody can make you do that. That's your own business. This is going to be loud, so bear with me while I shift my stuff down here. I don't have a proper chair down here anymore because my other one broke. So I just kind of make do by sitting on a paint can because I'm short and it works. Who was trying to make you shut down your website? LHCEnterpriseProboards.com. Cool. We'll come check it out. Let me see. Why do they think that they can tell you that you can't have a website? The net is blocking that E back there, but he's climbing up the side of the stump. Another one back there. Somebody else is coming up. Oh, well, everybody's so... I can tell you that, oh, yeah, they can't sue you for anything. That's funny. Funny how dramatic people get over hermit crabs. A lawyer would laugh at them for such a thing. Oh, somebody fell. Everybody's busy, but nobody's coming to eat. Kind of a bummer. Maybe if I move the worms back a little bit. I found that oh yes, and over Facebook members. Right, as long as you're not plagiarizing, then there's nothing that can be done about it. And plenty of information has been conveniently taken from CSJ over the years and no credit given. And I've heard that some of the stuff that was written and created by Carrie Campbell has now, that somebody else is now taking credit for it, even though I was able to go back to the Wayback Machine and show Carrie's site from back in the day and how she created all this food information. But certain people are claiming that they created these lists and that they did all this work, and you'll never stop it. They'll just keep doing it. I'm just going to spray my worms a little bit because it seems like sometimes if I get the food wet, they're a little more interested in it. I don't know if it helps put off the odor a little bit better. Yeah, well, they can they don't control the internet, so it's not kind of how it works. Somebody is in the little tree house there. Yeah, I think the humidity does carry the scent a little bit better. But when you care more about how many members you have, you've kind of lost focus on the whole point. Which, like I told you before, that's why I stopped trying to track down every single person that's stealing. Yeah, member farming, there's when that's the only reason you join, that's pretty frowned upon behavior. But if your goal is just to gather members, that's not really the point. And the point is to get the information out there and to get people to read the correct information and care for their crabs properly. And if I spent all my time trying to chase down people who have stolen our information and claimed it as their own, or or just rewriting our material, I wouldn't have any time to devote to actually spreading the word. I wouldn't have any time to devote to researching and writing new articles and posting that stuff. I wouldn't have time, to post on social media and try to bring people in. So I know that I'm never going to stop people from lifting information from us or claiming it as their own. I just have to stop. I know what the Hermit Crab Association looks like. I rebuilt that website umpteen years ago before they banned me. Krista used me and somebody else as free tech support to migrate their software. We put in countless hours of tech work, moving all their data, only to have her freak out on us and decide that we were trying to steal her site, and then she banned both of us. And then I found the Crab Street Journal. So, what I was saying is that you're right, only their version's correct, and we're not open to new information. That's ridiculous, too. Because none of us really know. None of us are marine biologists. None of us are actively studying hermit crabs. We're all trying to gather information and decipher it the best that we can. There's always room for change. There's always room for error. And people are going to continue stealing and lifting work. And I just have to not get bogged down in that. Yeah, it was kind of a crappy thing to do to us, to basically use us. But it is what it is. Until they just merged recently. The software they were using, the theme they were using, all the articles they were using were all written and created by me and Robin Wood. Whoever was running the HCA page on Facebook, she was she was fairly decent, but apparently she stepped down. So anyway, I can't worry about what other groups are doing. Yeah, Word of Sorrel, whatever her name was. Just focus on making CSGA a great resource, a friendly place, and a welcoming place. Yeah, right? They liked my work. They kept it for like a decade before they changed it. Vanessa and I have so much stuff going on, and we're working so hard on the site and adding new stuff, and it's really been so much fun, and I'm enjoying it so much. I really wish that I could do nothing but stay home and study hermit crabs and write about them and promote them, but maybe someday when I retire I can do that. Yeah, Jenny, as long as you haven't stolen anybody's information, you can have your website and put whatever you want on it, and then, you know, be considerate. You shouldn't be joining groups or other sites just to get members to join your site. You have to use social media and try to promote your site on your own and draw people in. I love that book. I'm so glad I ordered it. I wish I understood a little bit more of it. I wish I had time to read it cover to cover, but I'm just happy to have it as a resource. And this, allowed to advertise once a week on HCA. Scan. I could, yeah. I don't post on the HCA group anymore, and I don't advertise over there. I only kind of joined just because of adoptions, and then when the stuff happened with and I already got you kicked out of one group. I don't want you to get kicked out of another one for posting about us. Until they ban you again. You're so funny. But then what they end up thinking is that, like, I sent you over there to do that, you know, and then that's just not the case. But it is what it is. It's amazing how much drama surrounds the hermit crab world. Anyway, the species chart poster is so close to being done, you guys. I can't even stand it. I sent the rough draft out to Pam, and it was Pam's idea that we do this chart, and she did a bunch of the work. Yeah, I sent a draft to Vanessa, and she made some changes to it. It looks so nice. So I put in for some edits with the designer, and she's going to be friends in low places. She's going to be making the edits for me, and then we're trying to determine how to go about getting our logo on it in a better position, because where she has it placed right now, I can easily see people just photoshopping it out or cropping it out and claiming the poster as their own. And I've paid a decent amount of money to have this commissioned and created, and I plan to sell it as a print poster. It'll be 18, yeah, you'll be able to order one. 18 by 24, I think, is going to be the final size, but I want to be able to post like a smaller version of it online to advertise it, but it needs to have our logo on it, otherwise other websites are just going to edit our logo out and use it as their own. And I'm just not going to let that happen. I'm paying to be able to sell this, and I'm not going to let people steal this one. And it looks so good. Come on, climb that. Yeah, I thought about asking her to do it as a watermark over the entire, like, background of the poster, but I wanted to give her... Jenny, we're happy to have you. That's great. Let me try to be easygoing. As you can see, we don't focus on building up our membership or forcing people to only post on our site. We post all over the place. So I don't know if having the watermark be full size kind of in the background would interfere with the images very much. So I'm sort of leaving it up to her to see what she comes up with because she's the graphic designer. Which bowl? The seashell or the purple bowl? Yep, Anne's right. Just move on. In the water bowl, oh, those are pieces of coral that have algae all over them. And then cocoa fiber has been drug in there. I just let the algae grow in the bowl because it's not going to hurt them. Yep, it's not worth hating them. Just focus on the positive, focus on spreading good information, and leave the negative behind. So yeah, I leave the pieces of coral in there for the little guys, just in case. And I let the algae grow on them. I let the algae grow in the bowl. I just dump the water out and put fresh in. They need some more water, though. It's getting a little low. I really wish this Crabby would change out of that painted shell. It just horrifies me every time I see it. Come eat some worms. I want you guys to see them eating worms. Oh, I fell over. Hi, Mr. E. I think E's may... I mean, I love my Indos, but I just love their eyes. I wish they were a little more docile so that I could hold them a little bit more and get pictures of them. Loves what, Anne? I think I missed that. The Indos back there underneath the cocoa tree house. Oh, the pink shell. Yeah. Well, when I got some E's several years ago, they were all in painted shells. And all of them like immediately changed out except the one in the pink shell. And then when it did finally change out, I wasn't around to notice, and this little Caribbean snatched it up before I could get it out. Oh, we got a little confrontation going on back here. Do you see the legs sticking straight up in the air? They both had their legs like straight out in the air. Like, I'm not moving, you move. I guess they're not gonna duke it out. They're just gonna squeeze past each other. They're so funny. Oh, big guy's down there now. Yep, Chumbawamba. They weren't Australian, were they? I wonder if Amber has Periscope. I think Amber would be fun to have on our chats. Ah, is that why you like them so much? All right, gang. Well, I think I'm gonna Periscope down and call it a night. I'm glad you guys all joined me. This is so much fun. It's so much fun having you guys in here just to chat and just watch the Crabbies. Should I pipe it into the room for them to listen to? I thought that they would like the sound of the running water, but maybe they just haven't figured it out just yet. Thanks, Vanessa. I really do appreciate that. I feel like I worked really hard. Oh, You think she made it out tonight? She's a hoot. Well, do you have your membership set up on your website so that you have to approve new members? I mean, you can't keep your website secret if you want people to join it of their own volition. So you gotta kind of decide to focus on the positive, like Vanessa said, and not get caught up in the negative. We have links to other websites. We have links to HCA on CSJ because they do have good care information over there. Whether or not I agree with their politics or how they run things, that's none of my business. I'm not a member over there. It doesn't affect me. But they do have good care information. So if my goal is to educate people and to provide them as many resources as I can, then it's okay to link to them, and it's okay if they join CSJ. I'm not doing anything wrong. If they want to come and snoop around, fine. All of our care information is open anyway. Yep. You're so right, Vanessa. It's no drama, no fighting, no whatever. Focus on care information, helping people, helping hermit crabs, spreading the word. And do it with positivity and joy in your heart. Well, that's unfortunate that she's doing that. Yeah, I mean it used to be so bad. I totally know what you mean, Vanessa, but once I kind of just made up my mind that I wasn't going to dwell on that, it's just so much easier. And it's, even the way I approach helping people, I approach them kind of gently and with kindness, and don't immediately start piling on that, well, you're killing your crabs and you're doing this wrong and you're doing that wrong and you need this and you need that, and completely overwhelming that. You completely overwhelm them, and then they disengage because they feel like they're being attacked. It's much easier to kind of get to know them, be friendly, be outgoing, and offer a little bit of help. And if they don't seem receptive to it, you got to move on. Yep, Anne's right. Don't you got to take the high road and not get mired down in the nonsense. Hey there, little guy. Big fat E back there. Maybe we're gonna see a shell change. Nope, you can't change the whole world. But you know what? If you can change one person's mind, that's something. You know, that's one person's hermit crabs that you helped. And that kind of, I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with hermit crabs, but that kind of philosophy goes along with my idea of making November the month of giving instead of. So this year, instead of spending, I probably easily spend $1,500 to $2,000 on gifts for my entire family every Christmas. I have a big family and a lot of kids, and I like to buy things for them. But after watching Derek Cohen on Periscope and seeing how his life was changed and how motivated he is to help people in need, it's really, really changed my perspective on how much one person can make a difference to so many people. He was going through his own battle a year ago, and now he's set out to go to 50 countries and help 50 charities. One man is going to help 50 different charities all by himself. Do you know how many lives he's going to affect? Just one guy. So I decided that this year I'm not Christmas shopping for my family. He's really amazing. And what he's taught me and how he's changed my view of people who are homeless and who are down on their luck is phenomenal. Like, he's so So opened my eyes. Oh, thanks, Jenny. Yeah, just surround yourself with positive people. So I told my family that I'm not buying Christmas gifts this year. We're all very lucky. We're all very blessed. We all have everything we could possibly need. We don't need more stuff. And there's people out there who have nothing and who need clothes and food and a roof over their head. And so the money that I would be spending on gifts that we really didn't need, I'm now going to spend through the month of November and probably into December just helping whoever I can in whatever way I can. And Derek also taught me that sometimes helping someone is just sitting down and talking to them and hearing their story. You know, why they're on the street or how they came to be on the street. Well, I don't know that it was my idea, but that's what I'm going to do. So I've been donating to some different charities. I bought some items for a little boy who literally had one change of clothes. I work for an agency that supports people with developmental disabilities. Oh, Vanessa, that's great. And one of the little boys that they're supporting, he's a toddler and wears braces on his legs, and he literally has one outfit for the day, one pair of pajamas, and she couldn't take him on his walk for his physical therapy because the clothes he had on were dirty and he had nothing else to wear. Literally, nothing else to wear. Yeah, I saw that. I think you posted that. So there's a little girl at the office that's also collecting socks. So I'll be taking socks. But so I went out and I went to the thrift store and I bought him some pants at the thrift store, and I couldn't find any shirts. So I went to Marshall's, which is like a clothing store, but stuff that's really inexpensive. Oh, somebody's in the worms. The water works. The water worked. We're gonna eat some worms. Good thing I'm very verbose and blabbing on and on about myself. Anyway, I found him a lovely coat, a winter coat, a 3-piece outfit that was only $16.99. So it had pants, a shirt, and a hoodie. And then I found him another outfit that was just like a t-shirt and pair of pants and a new pair of pajamas. And I just dropped him off, and I let the gal know. Oh, thanks, Vanessa. I let the gal know that I dropped him off, and she said she'd come in and pick him up. And then she emailed me and said that she was literally in tears when she saw what I had bought for him. And I felt so good about it. Doing nice things for other people makes you feel so good. And sometimes it makes me feel so good, I almost feel selfish. I'm like, am I just doing this because it makes me feel good? But I love that feeling. And so then she and I started talking, and I told her about my plan to make November for giving. And she's like, I'm totally going to do this with my sister. What are the rules? I said, well, there's not really any rules. I just kind of randomly made this up on my own, that I will pick how I'm helping people. Yeah, it just takes so little. So little. Just, gosh, I spent under $50. And she said his mom was going to be beside herself when she saw the things that he got. Somebody had bought him a pair of shoes and another outfit, so I knew he had another pair of shoes to wear. But whether it's buying somebody a cup of coffee, buying their lunch. Okay, Jenny. That's all it takes to help people. And so that's just part of me trying to be more positive in general. Oh, I missed that. You donated something about the school. I didn't catch that. I was watching the crabs. But instead of dwelling on the negative, and Derek talked about the stigma of not giving homeless people money because, oh, you donate blood, good for you. I'm afraid I won't do that because I have such a hard time. They poke me over and over again because they can't hit my veins. But how there's so much stigma around the alcohol and the drug use. But he spent a night on the streets in Edinburgh, where he lives, talking to homeless people. And then, oh, you donated to a school in Fiji. That's great. Then he spent some time in New York at the Periscope Summit and talked to homeless people there. And he said while they are drinking and doing drugs sometimes that's all they have, and that's the only way they can keep going day after day.